A new United Nations report looks at how malnutrition is taking a toll on Gaza's most vulnerable populations. UNICEF, the UN Children's Agency, says more than 9,000 children were hospitalized for acute malnutrition in October alone, which it's calling shockingly high. The agency says that at least 165 of those children are reported to have died, quote, painful, preventable deaths. It also warns that thousands of pregnant and breastfeeding women are grappling with acute hunger, and that is having a devastating domino effect on thousands of newborns. UNICEF says that aid deliveries entering Gaza are still completely inadequate, despite a ceasefire being declared 2 months ago. CBC's Tom Perry is in Jerusalem. He's following this story for us. Tom, good to have you on this. What more can you tell us about this report and the numbers that it's showing?
Well, I think this is just one more reminder that while aid is getting into Gaza, we're seeing video images of trucks crossing border crossings, getting into Gaza, that it's not enough. As you pointed out, UNICEF says that in the month of October, there were 9,300 children treated for acute malnutrition. Now, the group says that's down from August, when over 14,000 kids were treated. That was an all-time high, apparently. So the trend is going in the right direction, but it's not going nearly fast enough. That, according to UNICEF, the bottom line is they're saying that aid is getting in, but not enough aid is getting in. Now, Tess Ingram from UNICEF talked about this yesterday at a news conference. Here's some of what she had to say.
Since the ceasefire, so in the last 8 weeks, it's been 3,800 pallets a week. So that's about a 250% increase in the volume of aid that UNICEF has been able to pick up inside Gaza. That's positive, but of course we're coming off an incredibly low base and it's still nowhere near enough.
So that was Tess Ingram from UNICEF. I had a chance to actually speak to Tess Ingram today, and she was talking a little bit more about this, saying how, you know, they have the capacity to offload as many as 60 trucks per day. That's just UNICEF. They're not even getting that many in. They're getting maybe 38, and she's saying that that's just because there aren't enough border points. There aren't enough crossings open into Gaza. She says that all these crossings need to open up, and that they need to just be doing things more efficiently, because as we keep saying, aid is getting in, but the needs in Gaza are so great that we just need, or the people of Gaza need more help, and right now they're not getting it.
Yeah, and it's been that domino effect. Every time you feel sort of you're making some gains, there's more and more people that are in this situation here. You mentioned more aid needing to get in, the UN saying that that has to increase. We're understanding that Israel is set to reopen a border crossing with Jordan to allow for passage of more supplies. Do you have anything more on that?
Yeah, that's the Allenby crossing between Jordan and the West Bank, actually. So that will allow, conceivably, it will allow more aid to get in from Jordan, so it'll open up a route into Israel. But that aid still has to get into Gaza. And right now, there are only 3 crossings open into Gaza, 1 in the north, 2 in the south. The Israeli government had talked about reopening the Rafah crossing into Egypt, but that hasn't happened yet. And so, as you're hearing, UNICEF and other groups urging the Israeli government to open as many crossings as possible into Gaza to make sure that aid gets in.
You mentioned the Rafah crossing as well, Tom, and I know you've been keeping a close eye there with sort of a lot of issues back and forth between Egypt and Israel on that one. We'll watch that closely, and hopefully we'll be getting an update from you on that shortly. But appreciate the update here. CBC's Tom Perry for us in Jerusalem.